So the first person I showed the script to was my mother, and that's where we left off. It was just before I was going to show you what she thought of the film. But before I give you what she thinks, or before I let you know where I'm at with the film, I thought I would give you some insight into my mother and my relationship and why she is really important for this film.
So, let's have a look.
From the beginning?
From the beginning, okay. So, no landed sight. Can I read it?
Yes, read it. Oh, this feels like family history bringing out, but like I do think it is important. We went through some pretty tough times in Tassie, and I think that like, you know, you bond further, and from then we are both really creative. We both were on a journey to discover what we were good at, to discover what we wanted to do in life. She's a poet, a writer, an editor. We'd always have ideas on how we can work together, but you know, nothing really ever stuck. I remember we even started a book. How the process would go is I would write out all the ideas. I would write out all the characters. I'd do like research and work out who they are and all the relationships and things like that. And I'd write it out as best as I can. And I'd look at it and it would sound horrendous. Like it would just look terrible, you know? And then I would give it to my mother and she would trim the fat and make it sound remarkable. If I talk about being a writer, it's basically because I aspire to be as good as my mother. When I'm writing something, I go, oh, would my mother think that this is good writing or not? And like that, for some reason, means something to me, you know? It means something to me. So I gave Mum the script. And straight away she called me and she said that it was good. But huge caveats on that.
To me, that was typical for me on all of your dialogue. Was like there's that little bit of overstatement to me, which reads awkwardly.
She said the flow, the story, the scenes, everything like that just seemed perfect. Like it just seemed, you know, like the right flow and everything like that. But then she said everything else, you know, like the little nitty gritties, how I explain it, the dialogue itself at times was, I don't know, in her words, pretty naff and pretty ordinary. And I think this is quite a strength that we have, is that we are a mother and son, but she does have an ability as, you know, being an editor in her job to pretty much just be quite brutal and straight to the point and say, you know, this doesn't work.
You see, that line doesn't make sense to me. From a distance, the boat, I would just say, the boat looks tiny on the water. The boat doesn't look at peace or anything like that. It's just like the boat looks like a tiny fleck on a huge expanse of water is a more visual way of putting that.
That's so good. Like a tiny...
Okay. So that instantly tells you the alone. Again, that's an overstatement. Can you see what I mean?
Yes, completely. And also, that's perfect what you've done there, because that's actually taking it away from feeling and emotion, where it's actually just visual. It needs to be visual.
It has to be visual. Oh, you are totally overstating it. Exactly right. So it's fine. It's fine. This is what we work on. Okay. So, and we can work on it again even more.
So she said to me that she can maybe only help me if we go through the script scene by scene, page by page. And at first, you know, it was a little bit bumpy. It would actually happen. It would happen before the newspaper arrives.
No, not before the newspaper.
Well, then it's the last night.
Maybe. Okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. Let's just carry on, right? And then we can come back to that. But I feel like I put a note in there.
It was evident after we did the first scene that no matter what, this was actually going to be pretty cool. This was going to be pretty exciting. And I honestly believe that that's what a writer would have to do with a script editor anyway. There's a lot of ego that sort of pulls up. You go, oh, this is my thing, you know, my thing. Why should I let you come in and you know, I've been working on this for so long, but I haven't actually had many of those moments. I just realized that that's something that's held me back in the past. Whereas now, you know, after the first scene, we realized that, oh, this is actually going to be great. You know, you're a perfect help. And she grew up in the 70s, and that's a big difference for me, you know. But what next? Well, we're just going to continue day by day writing on the script, and I have a new deadline. Next week, oh gosh, I think it's, 6 days from now, I'm going to send the script to Carsten. and then Carsten and I are going to meet up, and we're going to go through the script factually, or at least, run a truth pass over the script. So that's where we're at, and it's exciting. I feel like I say it's exciting at the end of every bloody episode, but it is.